All right, Mopar people, welcome back to the channel. I'm just Mopar Joe. Today I'm going to test fit all the chrome that I can on Darren's 68 Barracuda hardtop. I've got this with my buddy Brian coming to help me and give me some good pointers. I think I've got it ready to do my final wet sand, and I would have rather wet sanded a long time ago just to keep all the dust and funk down. You get a little smoother job. The dust is reduced. Anyway, for the finish sand, I'm going to wet sand it. And before I do my finish sand, I want to test fit the chrome, especially the grills, the tail light panel and tail lights. And we have Fender chrome for this. The Fender chrome that we have is from AMD. Let me show you that. So I'm very fortunate, and I wanted to show you on this opening, none of this had to be repaired. This is all factory crimp welds. That's a factory screw hole. I stripped all that down to bare metal, and this car was like 99% rust free. All that's wonderful. These aren't aftermarket quarters or anything like that. But they send you the wheel well moldings, and they do their best, and they're actually pretty close, but it has a couple screw holes in them. And my reasoning is, if I had this car painted up beautiful Matador red, back to the factory color like he likes, with the Fender chrome, and I try to fit this stuff, there's always issues and potential of chipping paint and doing whatever. So I want to get these fitted up today. They also leave a lot of this blank, which some people may cry about, but if these screw holes have been stripped out over the years and whatever, you can just pick a new spot and put yourself a new screw hole. So I need to get my several pair of vice grips out. I'm going to do them one at a time, get them fitted up here, take my small sharp drill bit and either find these old holes or drill myself a few new holes. I'm satisfied from here back. That's all looking really nice. And I went ahead and clamped it low. There goes a moth. He's waiting until we start painting to come back around. I clamped it low so I could pull that in, and there's just a little bit of gap on the back side of that between the two. So I'm satisfied here. As we go forward, it gets a little wonky. It actually needs a twist, so I may pop it off and put a little twist in it. But you can see here where we've started rubbing. Oh man, that would have been base coat and clear coat coming off. So if those are high spots that are kicking the trim out, I can take my body hammer and even dolly behind here and tap those down. They don't have to be, right, we don't have to change our trim for the body. We can change the body for the trim, because it'll look nicer with a straight smooth edge here instead of me bending and beating on this 150 times up and down, up and down. So if we tap on this on the back side, give our trim a little twist, I think I can get my holes lined up pretty nicely, and we get good, pretty decent coverage. You see how we kick in a little bit here, and that needs to kind of bend back that way. The blessing and the curse of Fender chrome is that everywhere that it touches, like that, it's going to rub its entire life. As the car flexes and whatever, and it'll just be a little bit of rub, and it's eventually going to rub through. So that would be one of the curses. The blessing is it will help protect your lip here from rocks and such. But what I'm going to attempt to do in areas like that, I can mark them, because a slight gap is okay. This is too much. I don't like that. That's too much. But we're aiming for being as nice as it can be. And when this pushes in, the whole thing flexes. I don't know if you can see that or not. I've got my widest clamp right here. So as I push along, I'm just kind of watching. It's like, it shouldn't be this complicated, but it's like playing chess. See right there, I got a major rub. Right there. So I got my piece, just a piece of paint paddle I'm going to stick here. And as I shove in on this, on the car, see, I can use the car as a guide for it. and then slide it down just a little bit. As I shove in on it, I'll be able to push a little bit of that out. Just a little bit of that, because I can't grab it with a pair of pliers and bend it over. It would mar up the front. And I'm sure there's nice rubber guarded pliers out there. I don't have any, but I'm just looking for a little bit of this right here. Squeeze it with my hand. I can bump it with my fist some. Move it down a little. Let's check. It's not enough. I can take my paint paddle and put on both sides, then crimp it and give it a little bend if I need to. Let me just keep playing here. Well, here's number one done. And I quickly figured out that I would clamp along. If I can show you, I got a piece of my piece of paint paddle left. I could clamp and then put my screw between them, setting that distance just like I wanted. Then I can move down, clamp where my next screw would be. And that kind of got my top edge just like almost perfect. This is kind of as wide as it gets here. I'm fine with that. It's not touching. I think I can almost get a sheet of paper between here. Coming right along. Everything looks good. I think we're set. This piece turned out really nice. It's mated to a 60-something-year-old car here, so I think it's doing pretty good. Let's step back and look. I know I'm always zoomed in too close to tell anything, but I think it looks a lot nicer. I'm going to show you this front side, and then we can move on to something else. I must admit, the fronts are a little bit easier here. I did test fit them whenever I welded this fender up. It had a split right here, and I know it's going to be dark. There she is. So it's a little bit of ugly stacked welds, but that's fine. The first time I welded it, it split when I tried to grind it down. So I welded back side, welded front side, ground it to where I could make my edge and form it. And now this piece of fender chrome, I went ahead and popped that bottom screw out. It's fitting really nice. So here she is right there. If you want to see both at once, it's kind of how it's going to look. This car's getting a double black stripe down the bottom just like it was from the factory, so it's coming back together and it's going to be cool. I'm going to fit up the other sides, the other side molding, and we'll move on to the grill. And here's side number two done. If I don't show you, you won't believe it. So here it is. This one went up in 5 minutes. It was so fast, nice and easy, and it really fit the wheel well opening nicely. So I'm very pleased with it. And there's just a real slight gap for the most all around. That looks like it's supposed to. So I'm very happy with it. Right front, same way. I'm gonna move back some so you can see it. I'm totally thrilled. Really, it works well. But y'all didn't click on the video for those two. I bet you clicked to see this grill right here. Look at that dude. That is awesome. And part of today, I want to be sure it has good fitment up to my body panel. This is it's not even bolted in. I can actually push it in more. It bolts from the back side, has some nuts that go on. But I wanted to be sure I didn't have something funny with the fitment. And I paint the car, and all of a sudden, see how nice we are here? All of a sudden, it's my fault because I didn't look at that ahead of time. So it's test fitted and looks really good. He had this grill redone by someone, I'm not sure. And we'll get to the taillight panel in just a minute because I heard it was a nightmare story. So let's go check it out next. Darren sent his original 68 tail panel out to be restored. The guy restored it, shipped it back to him, and in shipping it got totally destroyed. Well, that's bad and it's terrible. The worst part was the guy didn't even buy any shipping insurance to send the 68 special tail panel. So Darren, going through Facebook, found a decent person in the world to get him these pieces, and I wanted to check them out today. See, they're actually in a hard tube shipped, so that's a bonus. I want to get these test fitted on our car with the taillights to be sure everything looks nice and orderly. I think we're looking pretty good. The taillights still need some more cleanup, and also they're just dropped into place. There's a little bit of adjustment inside. They've got 4 pegs that can go up and down, but overall it's got a decent reveal here. And top side, I mean, it got a nice piece of trim from someone out there, so whoever you are, good job. My line looks good. I had to fix a dent here. I don't know if you can remember that or not, but I think I'm all in line. This has the same amount above and below, and it is not clipped right now, so I'll still have some different adjustment. But if you're running your hand this way, it does run into the trim, and I think that's pretty well how it's supposed to be. This piece fits nicely too. It only had one little bad spot there that was repaired, it looks like. But yeah, otherwise it fits nice and tight. And it's gonna be great. You can see a little of my red shining through there. So if you close your eyes and use your imagination, just think of the whole car as being that red. Hopefully it will be soon. There's some more. But this is the same as the other side. It all looks good. I didn't do any extensive Bondo work or anything in here. And I think I can raise her up just a little bit, but nice around here. Driver quality. That's all we were going for, so I think we're doing all right. Anyway, I guess I'll leave it here. I can do a walk around of the car, and y'all let me know what you think about it in the comments. I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll catch you next time.